Hello everyone, it's Dawn. I know you weren't expecting another video from me today, but guess what? You're going to get one. So today we're going to carry on. I've just got 2 more projects left to do from my series of PAPERCRAFT Society Box 41. I'm going to do this one today, and I wanted to end the week with one of these. So I'm going to end tomorrow, Sunday, with another one. So that's why I've slipped another one in this week or today. So I'm going to use, or I have used, the embossing folder. Now this is a 2x6, but I wanted to make a 6x6 embossed panel. So all I did, so this is going to be a 6x6 card, and we're going to have it in tent fold, which means the fold will be at the top. And I put the paper or my card through the embossing folder once. Then I lined it up and I put it through again. Then I lined it up so that the patterns match, and I put it through again like that. So that's all we did, that's all there is to it. And it's such a busy pattern that even if it doesn't go exactly, I doubt that you'd see the join. So if I hold it up to the camera, you can see that gorgeous embossed feeling there, that embossed pattern there. So what we're going to do, I don't know why I didn't do this earlier, I don't know why I haven't done this in earlier videos, but those of you who know me well will know that I love the rainbow patterns, the rainbow effects. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to use some colours. And we're going to, a little later on, I'm going to be using one of the flower dies from the pack. But we're going to use this gorgeous folder here, which we just used, to create an embossed background. A 6x6 embossed background, by running it through 3 times on the same sheet. And I've got some pencils here, some watercolour pencils here. And what we're going to do, we're going to start off by painting a rainbow effect. So I've got them all in rainbow order, so to speak. So this is my red. I'm using, you can use whatever you like, whatever pencils you like. I'm using the Derwent. And if you've got these and you want to follow my colours, if you've got these Derwent and you want to follow my colour scheme, the first one is Crimson Lake. And I will add all of this in the description box just in case, because I know a lot of people who do watercolour pencils do use the Derwent. So we're just going to start off. It's not going to be too harsh. I don't want this to be very bold. If I wanted it to be bold, I'd have used my other watercolours, my tube colours. But I want this to be quite muted. So we're just going to do this together. It won't take long. So that's our red. And I'm going to pop that out of the way. And for my orange, I'm using orange chrome. Also, they're all Derwent colours. So this is orange chrome. And I'm going to just go up slightly into the red. I'm not going to start where one finish, where the previous, I'm not going to start where the previous colour stopped, was what I meant to say. So I'm just going to overlap it slightly so that when we add our water, it will blend in nicely. So that's our orange chrome. And for my yellow, I am using deep cadmium. So I'm just going to pop that through there like that. And when we put the water on, that's when the magic happens, folks. If you've never used watercolour pencils before, or if you've never seen them being demonstrated, this is what they're going to look like. So now we're going to use May Green, if you're following this series, or if you're using Derwent. So that's going to come down. They don't have to be even. They don't have to be absolutely even. And again, I'm just going to go up slightly into the yellow. And then bring it down. Then I'm using, Smalt Blue. So for my blue, I'm using Smalt Blue. But if you haven't got these pencils, or if you're using a different brand, you can use whatever colour, or whatever tone of colour you like. You don't have to use these pencils, and you don't have to use these colours. Or even if you're using Derwent, you can use some of the other blues if you want to, or some of the other tones from the same range. You don't have to use the same colours as me. This is just a guide, and I am actually using this one. That Derwent has actually got one called Indigo, so that was a lucky, wasn't it? So we're going to use the Indigo. As they've got one called Indigo, we might as well use it. So, but again, if you've got a darker blue, you can use that. Any dark blue will do for Indigo, the darkest blue that you've got. If you haven't got an Indigo in your range, just use the darkest blue that you've got. And for the violet, I am using Blue Violet Lake. So, simplicity itself. And I'm just going to pop that on the end. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't like painting on the edges. Not with pencil, but that's all right. We'll get there. So we're just going to put that down there like that. Take it up into the one bit above it, just slightly. Now I'm going to leave the pencils to one side for now. And as these are watercolour pencils, we are going to use some water. Not much, just a little. So I've got a little jug or a little pot of water here. It's actually a mug. But I don't use it for drinking. I only use it for water for my pencils. And I'm just going to moisten the brush. I'm not going to soak it. I'm just going to moisten it. Actually, I might have to moisten it a little bit more, so that it blends. I just want this lot to blend, all these colours to blend. I don't want them to disappear. So you can go back and forwards a little. So we're going to, actually I'm going to keep coming down because I don't want to wash these up too high. So I'm just going to keep washing them down. And you'll get that beautiful pastel-y rainbow effect, which is absolutely gorgeous. And that comes right down to the bottom. And I've glued, I'll put that in there and pop it to one side. I've glued the mat onto a 6x6 card base. I just used some tacky glue to pop this on there. And that is our base. So we've got a beautiful rainbow base. Now, the other thing I've used from this set, from box 41, is I've used the smallest of the flower dies, which is that little one there. I absolutely love that die. That's my favourite of the whole dies. I don't know why I like that one. It looks the same as the others. They're just it's just smaller, but I like that one. I like them all. I love them all. They're great, but that's my favourite. I couldn't tell you why. It just is. And from that, I've used my alcohol pens, and I've cut again out of white. I've used white cards for all of this, and just used my pens or pencils to colour. And I've used my pens, my alcohol pens, to colour the flowers. And I've just cut, or I have cut, 2 layers for each flower. And this time, instead of bending the ends of the petals, I've pinched them like that. So I've taken each petal and I've pinched it up just to give it a bit more shape. And I've put a bit of white bling in the middle. And so what we're going to do, I've got all of my flowers over here, again in rainbow order. And I've got them all with a piece of foam pads. I've got half a foam pad on each of them. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to start at the top. And I'm going to put them down like this, again in rainbow order. And just like any other rainbow, I'm going to overlap them slightly. I'm not going to make one flower end and another one. There's not going to be a gap. I'm going to overlap them. I'm not going to sit them side by side or have a gap between them. I'm going to overlap them, just like the colours of the rainbow overlap. So, and I have got them in the proper order, so I don't have to think about it. That would be a disaster, wouldn't it, if I put them in the wrong order? So there's our green. We've got our red, our orange, our yellow, our green. Here is our blue. So again, as that's coming across, I will overlap that. We've got, this isn't actually indigo, it's just the darkest blue I had in my pen set. So that's absolutely fine. Indigo or dark blue. And the last one is that one. And I think that looks really gorgeous. I've not tried this before, so I wasn't quite sure how it was going to come out. I didn't do a dummy run, I just thought, right, let's just go for it. So give them a bit of a press, because this might still be a bit wet. And the only thing I'm going to do, we could leave that gap there. It's got that beautiful rainbow background, but to me, although it's beautiful, it looks a bit empty. So what I have done is, this is the only thing I have used that isn't from the pack. From my own stash, I have found this gorgeous lavender happy birthday sentiment. And I've popped a piece or a couple of strips of foam tape, not foam pads this time, but foam tape on the back, which I'm just going to peel off the backing tape for, turn over, and I'm going to put it, oh, I don't know, about there, I think. Press it down, and because of the lavender, any colour you put on here will blend in. If you use a rainbow, any sentiment or any colour you put will blend in beautifully, because it'll coordinate with at least one of these colours. And you've still got that lovely pastel-y rainbow in the back, so that is really lovely. I wasn't quite sure how that would turn out, But I'm really pleased with how it has. That will stand up. If you put it in tenfold, it will stand up. I don't know if it would stand up. Oh, it would. Oh, no, the reason they're coming off is because the paint underneath is still wet. So what I should have done was brought my heat tool down and dried it. So I'm going to leave that flat and give it a chance to dry. And once it has dried, I'm just going to pop some hot glue under there. So that's my card for today, or for this afternoon. So you'll have one this morning and one this afternoon. That won't happen very often, I promise you. And tomorrow I'll be coming back with a final project in this series. It's a very quick, a very simple little project, but it's one of these things. It's actually a thing that we all use from time to time. And I'm going to show you a very decorative way of making something that most of us use, maybe not every day, but sometimes. So pop back tomorrow and you'll find out what I'm on about. So I'll see you then. And in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed this one. I know I've enjoyed making it and seeing it coming together. Stay safe, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the day and the weekend, whatever you're doing. Have fun and happy crafting. Bye-bye for now.